Welcome to UpWell The Podcast. I'm Sarah, and this is my beautiful co-host, Katie. As fellow female entrepreneurs turned friends and now business partners, we are so happy you're here.
With every episode, it is our sole purpose to share authentic conversations to inspire your personal level up. Take our curiosity, add your best intentions, and flow with us in the UpWell.
Hey everybody, welcome back to another episode of UpWell The Podcast. I'm Sarah, this is Katie, and we have a very special guest with us today.
Yes.
We are here at DressWell Boutique in Bourbonnais, Illinois with our friend Christy. Welcome.
Thank you for having me. Listen, no judgment. This is my first podcast. I'm a little nervous. I do a lot of social media, but I don't do a lot of live Q&A, so...
Yeah.
It's easy.
It's gonna be. You'll be fine. You'll
go with the flow.
Right.
Just go with the flow.
Let's do it.
So Christy is a leading force here in our little community. She is the mastermind of lots of small business, local events to kind of gather everybody. She is everybody's cheerleader. She is a working mom, a wife, a friend to so many, and she is the owner and creative vision behind DressWell Boutique. So we are super happy to have you here.
Thank you. Can you write all of that down for me? I'm gonna put that in my office.
When she wrote that, I was like, dude, can you write my obituary?
Amazing. I was just gonna say, can that be on my tombstone or headstone, whatever?
No, but it is all true. She is, she
you.
is such an inspiration to so many. She kind of, was the driving force, the trailblazer here in our local community with the small business clothing boutique. So why don't you give us a little bit on how you got started with all of that?
Sure.
And kind of explain your story a little bit.
It's a long story, but I'm going to make it very short and sweet.
Perfect.
So my main gig was in healthcare. I was a respiratory therapist at Riverside Medical Center for quite a few years, and I just didn't feel like that was my true passion. My true passion is clothing and styling and fashion and all of the things. And it was, I will never forget this. I was riding the escalator down to my department at 5 a.m. with another one of my coworkers. And it was one of those days where it's oh, here we go again. And I said, Renee, I'm going to open a boutique one of these days. And
Love it.
So I sat on my 37th birthday, January 4th, 2017, on my couch, and I was like, I'm gonna make a life change. And I did research on what I needed to do to start my own clothing business, and I went from there. I basically started out of my house, my dining room table.
I love that.
Yeah, my dining room table. I created a Facebook page, and by January, the following week, I had clothing in already. And I was knocking on everybody's door in this community. This is what I'm doing. It's crazy. I want to sell clothes. Can I do an event in your business? And I was never turned down, not even one single time. And that's such a testament to our community and how supportive they are of small businesses. So basically I started selling on Facebook. I had my own little website, but the most important piece was really getting out in the community so people could come try on the clothes and touch and feel and do, all of the things that we do in a regular store. So that started in January, and by April of that year, so 3 months later, I was able to quit my job at the hospital.
Wow.
And I took on, the boutique full time. I ran it out of my house for another year. Okay. And then DressWell at 409 South Main Street was born along with Nicole Marie Salon.
Okay.
We came up with Nicole Carpenter and I came up with a really innovative idea, especially for this area, really in Illinois in general. It was a boutique, so it was your hair, nails, all of it, and you could do your shopping at the same time, and it was amazing. It was amazing. It was so well received here, and that's yeah, that's really kind of how my story started.
Wonderful.
That's so cool, because I feel like I got goosebumps a couple times while you were talking, because the first thing I want to point out to everybody is that she was 37. I don't know if anybody heard that, but I hear so many people that they feel like if they hit 30 and they haven't reached all of their goals or done something that they've dreamt of, like their life is over. And it's like, I just love hearing that, because your life has just started. Like your life is just beginning at that point.
It really had. I mean, honestly, like I think every decade for me, so I'm 43 now, every decade brings its own new piece, new chapter. And it's, so yeah, I mean, at 37 years old, trying to figure out, gosh, I really don't love my job. Should I quit my job? Should I start this new thing that everybody thinks I'm crazy? Do it.
We understand that.
We understand that.
Yeah.
Because I mean,
Let's
we
start
started the podcast. I was 39 when we started the podcast. I turned 40, just this past March. So we get that completely, of the whole, it's never too late to.
And people thinking you're nuts.
And
or you feeling like you're nuts, I should say.
I mean, I had so many people, even people that were my friends, say, when I said I'm going to open a brick and mortar, don't do it. It'll never be supported. Don't do it. Guess
Look
what?
at you now.
Guess what?
Look at her now.
And I think it's such a combination of things to, really, it's what's propelled our success. A combination of passion and purpose. I think that's so important as a business owner and entrepreneur, but especially a woman in business. You should do what you're passionate about, because it just exudes. Like people get that and they feel it, and they feel the energy and excitement. And that's the same with what you guys are doing. Like this is something you're so passionate about, and it's almost fun. Like going to work is fun. So I think that is something that's like huge. But also just having that network of friends and family and community to really support you and your crazy idea. And
I love the passion and the purpose piece put together with support, because I really do think so much can be accomplished in your life with the mixture of those three. And I want to go back to your humble beginnings, because this is how I met Christy. It's like I tell people, I met her at a bar. Well, I didn't really. I was there and she had clothes there, and I was like, wow, this is incredible. So Christy used to do pop-up shops all throughout our community, all the time. I mean, and this is while you were still working. So it was incredible to me that she was doing these two things simultaneously, probably staying up really late every night, every time she had a pop-up, getting there early, setting up, tearing down, and then getting up for work the next morning for quite some time. So I was just kind of, I don't know, always blown away and drawn to you, because I could tell that you did love what you did, and you wanted to, you were building. Like I could tell that this was something that it was in the works from the beginning, and you dreamt of what you have now. And I think that's awesome.
Yeah, you had the vision, and it just sort of, you didn't waver from that. You didn't waver from what you wanted. You said you were going to open up a boutique, and you set out to do that.
Yeah. But again, wouldn't be possible without, the support that we have had for the last 6.5 years.
I support here a lot.
We have a lot of support.
We got a lot of supporters.
I love it. No,
I'm going on a trip and I need new clothes.
Great. You've seen us, you know what? And it's not all happy rainbows and sunshine. There's, we've been through a lot.
Yeah.
Everybody in, small business, especially through COVID and after and all of it. I mean, it's like this on the daily.
Ebb and flow.
So just navigating through that, and just trying to keep your blinders on and know this is the low point, and Christy, it's going up, so just hang in there. And I think that's just so important for there's a lot of women right now that are getting into the clothing business, and it's such a weird time after COVID.
Yeah,
so
everybody
weird.
thinks that COVID was the big dun dun dun. Really, we're really feeling the effects of it now. The longer term effects. And so I'm just here to say, like, if you're having a bad month or a couple of bad weeks, like, don't give up. It actually just gave me goosebumps. It makes me emotional because it'll all be okay.
Yeah.
You know, just like hang in there.
I love that message.
And that's one of the things I love about you and kind of your mentality as a business owner, of how supportive you are of so many other small businesses in the area, even ones that do the same thing as you. You are I mentioned at the beginning, you're kind of a curator of like these events, of getting everybody together.
They make me crazy. I'm like, that's a great idea. And then like when it comes down to it, it's like,
But you know, when you were still over in the Majestic, you would have those big like wholesale events, not wholesale events, but the warehouse events. And just you would invite people from all over to come
Why not?
Exactly, and that is something that we love about you as a business owner, and how you're so supportive of everybody. And then how though do you manage that, like with not kind of playing into like the comparison game?
Well, the beauty of being a boutique owner is everything that I buy in my store, I pick out.
Okay.
And I pick it out because I love it. And I pick it out because I know how to wear it. I know what I'm wearing it to. And that's the great thing about these businesses. Every single one of them is different. So why not bring everybody together? Because together as a whole, we have a lot bigger punch than just one person.
Yes.
And so I feel like that's like my biggest competitor is me. 100%.
Louder for the people in the back.
Yes, louder.
So here's what I do. If I'm having a really slow month, I go back this same time prior years and see what kind of styles did I bring in? What was I doing? What kind of social media did I have? Did I do this event? Where was I at? And I figure it out. Like that's for me, that's where I say like it's me against me. So and I think that's so important for everybody. Of course it's great to go out. I go out all over. We travel the US, and no matter if I'm in a small little town in Ohio or if we're in Florida or wherever, I'm looking at those little boutiques, those little small businesses to see what do they have. What are they doing? What can I bring to this community that I'm not already doing or somebody else is not already doing? And I think that's so important to like hone in on those things, but also still stay true to who you are and what you're doing.
So I like that you actually are using kind of going into those other stores. You're not, instead of you seeing it as like competition or comparison, you're using it as motivation and inspiration to pull it into how you can put your own flavor on it and how your own twist on it. I like that.
1,000,000%. Yeah.
That's
It's
awesome.
one of my favorite things to do,
Yep.
which is why I make my husband take me places.
Such a good husband.
Such a good husband.
My husband would be like, here's a plane ticket. See you in a few days. He would never go with me. So
That's awesome.
I'm happy for you for that.
Yeah.
My husband would stay in the hotel. I would just be on my own shopping. I know, smart girl. Well, tell us if you had some advice for anyone, especially female entrepreneurs or someone that's wanting to get into starting their own small business. How can they, pursue their passion and stay out of that negative mindset and get out of their own way and feel like, they can find success just like you?
Yeah, I feel like I touched on it a little bit already. Purpose and passion. Passion first. Hey, I'm gonna tell you, I love cookies.
Same.
But I wouldn't be able to go and open up my own bakery because I have no idea how to bake. I'm the worst, okay? What I do know is clothes. So make sure that you're not just jumping into a business because you see somebody else doing it and you think they're making $1 million. If there's not that true, this is what I love, I would say, and don't get me wrong, there's a lot of trial and error with everything. that we have done. I mean, I learned the absolute most out of our failures.
Yeah.
It's never fun, but it's all a learning experience. So I would just say, like, make sure whatever business you're jumping into, that it really is your jam, you know. I think that's important. You know, the purpose kind of really goes along with all of that. And I would just say, like, we talk about a girl gang a lot. You have to have support. You know, whether it's from your family or like a small group of girlfriends, because it is tough. It's tough to knock down doors and say, hey, this is what I'm doing, you know, come buy from me. Like, you need that, because it all kind of spreads. It starts with your friends and your families, and then they tell this person, and then they tell this, and it gets bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger, and it takes time. So I would say just having that really good support system, because there's going to be days, like I said, I'll be here and sales will be slow, or the month will be slow, and like want to bury my head in the sand, and it's my friends that I go to, and they help me. They're like, Christy, what about this? Or have you seen this? Like, and just having that, I think, is like key, because you can think all you want that you're the creator, but like really it's also listening to other people. That's really important and inspirational and motivational and all of those things. So I say a good support system, have purpose, have passion. You gotta have grit. I'm telling you, we fight for every single dollar. We do. And I don't mean that in a competitive way, but it is like with the economy and post-COVID and all of it, everything has changed.
Yeah.
And we are like for example, let's just get into this real quick. I took my kids school shopping. Crystal said, let's go to Woodfield. I've never been to Woodfield in my entire life. I know, this is so crazy.
You made it out alive though.
Yeah. So, but here's what was happening. 50% of the stores all said, do you want a shopping bag? And if you do, it's X amount. These are the times that we're in, okay?
Wait, explain that.
Yeah.
Like they wanted a shop, like
if you wanted your items in a bag, you had to pay for the bag.
I've never heard of that.
So these are multi-million, billion-dollar corporate retailers that are trying to cover their costs because we are in such a different time.
Okay.
It's the same thing with, you know, the way of the world. We're trying to go cashless right now, and I don't know that that's amazing. What we pay in credit card processing and our fees from PayPal and online,
Awful.
I could take my family on a trip to Hawaii 2 times a year. It's insanity. So we're seeing now small businesses passing that along to the consumer as well. Like all of these things just, it's so different. So when I say fight for every dollar, it's like, how do we still do what we're doing at an affordable price and not trying to nickel dime everybody, but still be able to pay our bills, pay my employees, and do, you know, fun things in the store. And it is hard. It's a 24-hour a day mental game.
Yeah.
And it's not just for the boutique world. It is any small business out there. So I don't even know what the question was, but
okay.
that's my answer.
I mean, it really.
Amen.
I know, and it really.
As small business owners, we get that.
Yeah, it leads us back to the point, like it's so important to support local and small businesses because they are taking the hit just like those big companies, but with less to spare. You know, you aren't walking around charging people for a bag right now. So
Not yet.
Yeah, be on the lookout.
Don't you dare go on Facebook and say DressWell is charging for bags, because we're not.
No, they're not. No.
No, but Christy really does, and I say this truly from the bottom of my heart, does an amazing job when she markets her store and her brand and herself, because you can tell that you care. You can tell that you want people to feel good in what they're wearing and feel confident and feel unique and not walk around looking like everybody else that went to Kohl's or went to Target. And that's what I respect the most about you, because you're always bringing in unique pieces and things, you know, that are up and coming and trendy, and people want that. People want to support feeling different and showcasing their own individual personality, and you bring that to the community.
You facilitate that.
Thank
for
you.
sure.
I appreciate that so much, and that is one of the things that is fun for me, is like bringing in new styles that I know, listen, this is probably going to sit on my rack, but I love it, and I know that this is going to be the thing, and it's like, how do I get people to be the trend and not follow the trend? And that's so important for me. So my best, like, I get goosebumps when I get this, so I'll do a story or something, and just something like informational, and I'll get messages, oh my God, when is that top gonna be? I don't see that top on the website, or I don't see that bottom or whatever. And I'll be like, vintage DressWell, I told you so. Because like then that, you know what I mean? So that's so fun for me, because I'm like, I swear I do know a little bit of what I'm doing, like a little bit, not always. I mean, we definitely have some misses here, but that's what's fun for me, is like bringing in sometimes this off the wall piece that, you know, I get to like see if people will buy it or not. I mean, so
I think my favorite thing about shopping here in general is that I have gotten almost all of my classic pieces that I rewear over and over and over, whether that's my favorite denim or my favorite blazer or my favorite, you know, mock neck tank top, like things that I mix and match and rewear over and over, and vice versa. On the other side, I've got crazy pattern, bright things that I buy specifically for an occasion, an event, a vacation, and I just love that I can walk in here and be able to find both.
I appreciate that so much. And sometimes I feel like, for me especially, because I have such passion for like some of the crazy stuff, I don't always showcase enough the casual, staple, everyday pieces that you will have in your closet for 10 years. Because I think, well, people just know. They don't. They don't.
Pinterest dresses me. I had to search Pinterest this morning, black leather shorts outfit, because I don't know how to dress myself. I look at Christy's stories and I was like, that's what I want to wear, and then I go buy it.
Thank you. Yeah, no, we have such a fun time here. You know, I myself have my hands on almost all of the social media, and I get this a lot, like, you know, Christy, gosh, when I see it on you, it's so amazing, and I know exactly how to wear it, and blah blah blah. And and then they'll say, but I could never wear that. That starts to make me angry, because, not angry in like a mean way, but like, listen, if you see something you like it, you wear it.
Yeah, don't place the limiting belief on yourself that you can't pull something off because it might look different than on me or yourself than it does on you.
I think the when women have confidence in what they're in, or even just confidence to attempt to wear something that they wouldn't usually wear, you're gonna look like $1 million.
You're gonna look amazing.
$1 million.
Yeah.
And that's really like kind of even how I got started. I would have so many people like, oh my gosh, you need to dress me. You always look so cute. I'm like, really?
Someday when we make it big, you're gonna dress us.
You're gonna dress us.
You're gonna dress us. For UpWell The Podcast.
We're
gonna have a rack of clothes in our green room that's all got DWB tags on it.
We do that a lot, believe it or not. And not just like, you know, we'll have a husband come in and be like, hey, it's our anniversary. I want to get my wife something special. And the great thing about our small business is I probably know 99% of these women. So I know exactly what their style is,
what size they are,
what size they are, all of it. And it's just like, that's a highlight of our day when we get to do something like that.
That is so cool.
Yeah.
Well, this was such a fun conversation, and I feel enlightened and empowered, and I hope everyone listening takes something away from this conversation, because I just feel like You're so inspirational in so many different, you know, even if you're not going to open a new business, but I think just the way your take on life and the way you look at things, I think anyone can adopt a more positive mentality like that. So.
Yes.
I love that. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you so much for joining us. Why don't you let everybody know where they can find you online and socials and all of that?
Yeah. So we recently, over the last couple months, we moved to our final destination,
Woo!
which is
Team Final Destination.
Final destination. It is 435.
That's what her husband thinks.
If you're watching, Jay, look out.
It's at 435 South Main Street in Bourbonnais. So we are right next to Sequels. We started out on the opposite side of Sequels, which is now solely Nicole Marie Salon and Dollhead Blow Dry Bar. So we're on the other side. So that's where you can come shop us in store. Our Instagram handle is at Shop DressWell. That's a fun way to kind of like see all of our newest arrivals. Our website is shopdresswell.com. We're actually working on a new website right now, so that'll be up and coming, but the address is still going to be the same. And you can search Facebook, just DressWell Boutique. So
Awesome.
yeah.
Quick question:
Yeah.
with your website, do you have shipping nationwide? Because we have listeners actually globally.
Well, I love that. And the answer is absolutely.
Okay.
We have shipped to, I would say, probably 70% of the country since
Perfect.
we started. So,
Okay,
Perfect.
Yeah.
Wherever you're watching this,
Yes,
you
wherever
can
you're
shop
watching this,
DressWell.
Yeah.
online.
Yeah.
Perfect. All right, guys. Well, thank you so much for joining us on this episode of UpWell The Podcast. You can find myself personally at barefoot.katie. You can find Sarah at Sarah Behrens. You can find UpWell The Podcast on all the places at UpWell The Podcast. So until next time, take care of yourselves, take care of each other, and take care of the world around you. Bye, guys.
Bye.